You've seen the world of real estate developers, you've seen the world of real estate consumers. Today, we take a walk through into an important layer in between, the real estate broker. And to talk to us about that is one of the key real estate brokerages, Homesfy. It does 1650 crores worth of sales. To talk to us is the entire management team. I've got Ashish Kukreja, I've got Mukesh, Neha, Sandeep and Kshitij. They'll take us through the entire journey of a real estate brokerage. What's the model like? What's the competition? How do they read the market? And this is a company that's going to get listed on the NSE SME exchange. Ashish, startups are the flavor of the last 1 year. You're not really a startup in that way. You started in 2011. What is it that got you excited to start a real estate brokerage in 2011?
It's actually very funny, Vishal. Usually, कोई भी startup से आप पूछेंगे तो they'll answer you that they were trying to do something and they faced some problem and they went into this business to solve that problem. That was not the case with us. Nothing bad happened to us that got us into broking business. We were in financial services, wealth management, and at that time, it was a peak of global meltdown, and most of our customers were looking for hard assets. That's when some of the customers wanted us to give them real estate solutions, and it just happened to us. And when we got into it, Vishal, we realized that there were so many common sense things which were missing in the sector. We could really feel that why the basics are not being followed. And when we started doing it, we started getting some great results, and then one thing led to another.
So what's the one example of this common sense solutions that were being ignored? जो जब आपने एंटर किया, आपने देखा कि ये तो आराम से सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, क्या था?
एक्चुअली बहुत कुछ था. फॉर एग्जांपल जिस तरीके से कस्टमर को एक इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए होता था, वो बहुत ब्रोकन था. इतना बड़ा डिसीजन होता है किसी के लिए भी, उनको एक सीक्वेंस में एक इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए और बहुत क्रिटिकल टाइम पे चाहिए होता है, वो नहीं मिलता था. I can think of so many things. We were the first brokerage at very early stage. While we were just probably 5-10 of us, we started implementing CRM. हमने खुद का CRM बनाना शुरू किया because we knew that अगर हमें कस्टमर को सर्विस करना है तो हमें जर्नी को कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा. So while brokers were dealing on Excel sheets, we were dealing on our CRM. I can think of many random examples. We had this missed call service at that point of time, wherein we had given this service to a consumer कि अगर वो miss call देगा तो next 5 minutes में we'll be calling him and giving him his. So वो decision इतना knee-jerk decision होता है, तो उस तरह का access ही was coming as a great support to the consumer. And like I said, बहुत सालों तक बहुत सारा common sense stuff missing था. We kept on solving it as we grow, and yeah, that's the journey.
So you started in 2011. When did you close your first deal, and what was that deal?
So between when we got into this space, we were like showing apartments all over the place, and पहले 6 महीने तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. So but वो 6 महीने बहुत important थे. अगर वो 6 महीने नहीं होते तो शायद मैं आज आपसे बात नहीं कर रहा होता. And my colleague, my co-founder Mukesh, I remember it was his probably second or third week. तो मैंने मुकेश को बोला कि हब मॉल के पास मिलना है, तो उसने कस्टमर को बोला HUB मॉल पे मिलना है. That is how much we knew about the markets, and I remember the first deal. Surprisingly, the first deal didn't happen in MMR. We did in Karjat. So we were just all over the place. But we learned our lessons, and after that we got into some very good products and projects, from where the journey really picked up for us, and yeah.
So Mukesh, Ashish spoke about your third week, second week journey, HB Mall. Now I'm sure you know all the malls of Mumbai and MMR. In your view, how is the journey for a broker interaction with the developer changed in the last 10 to 11 years? 2011 में कैसे था, अभी कैसे है?
So विशाल, शुरू में there was lack of trust and respect between both the entity. Later on, when developer has seen the good work of us, and then they realize there is a scope of strengthen the partnership with the brokers. They have also started us aligning in their key decisions, which has helped us to choose right product and offer to our client. I remember instance कि एक developer के वहाँ ट्रांजैक्शन हुए जा रहा था, सबका फोकस था कि 45,000 रुपये ले लो, 60,000 रुपये ले लो और ट्रांजैक्शन कर दो, एंड नोबडी वाज ट्राइंग टू डू द सेकंड पेमेंट, 5% पेमेंट लेके एक बार ट्रांजैक्शंस को इन भी कर लो. एंड एट दैट टाइम gross to net was around 30%, 40%. Then because of this association we got into the discussion and we have suggested them कि आप ऐसा करो कि थोड़ा सा कुछ इंसेंटिव क्लाइंट को दे के और 5% का पेमेंट आप पहले ले लो. तो उसको करने के बाद डेवलपर और हमारा जो ग्रॉस टू नेट था वो 90% तक पहुंचा और उन्होंने हमको अप्रिशिएट भी किया. धीरे धीरे जैसे चीज़ें आगे बढ़ी, हमारे सजेशन से लेके डेवलपर्स ने बहुत सारे टेक्नोलॉजी में भी चेंज किए जो हमको बाद में इनेबल करता है कि हम अपनी पूरी क्लाइंट की जर्नी को बुकिंग से लेके बिलिंग तक उसको मैनेज कर पाएँ. They are investing us in a lot and I see a lot of potential between builder and if this association can be good and दोनों पार्टी मिलके अगर ठीक से काम करें तो इंडस्ट्री के लिए एक बहुत ही अच्छा अवसर हो सकता है.
Ashish, every broker I have met, they say one thing about the life of a broker when dealing with developers is पैसा आ जाता है, रिस्पेक्ट कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है. What is it that makes a white collar professional like you attracted to this dusty, chaotic, messy world of real estate where broker respect is not that much and you have to deal with characters who at least then were very unsavory?
There was opportunity out there, right? And in the sector there were good developers as well and they wanted to deal with good brokerages out there, you know. And once they put confidence in us, you know, we carry their brand to the consumers. They want to deal with brokerages who respect the brand, right? Who take the brand in a right manner, in a right way, communicate it well with the consumers, and they really valued it. And going ahead, you know, as the sector got consolidated, and you know, biggest developers became more bigger, they were keen that, you know, most of their area around handling consumers, getting them to the site, you know, should be outsourced to players like us, you know. And they increasingly wanted to focus more and more on creating good products, you know, improving their balance sheets, you know, and they were very keen that, you know, and obviously they would want to do this only with brokerages who understand this requirement and who are also giving great value to consumers. I repeat, because we carry their brand to the consumers, so it's very important for them. So I think that's what attracted us. And we were fortunate enough that the way sector behaved in last 3-4 years, you know, RERA came, GST happened, demonetization, NBFC crisis. It was just back to back, everything happening. And if everything was not enough, then COVID, right? So all this added up and the whole equation between us and developers really saw light of the day after all these events happened, you know. They understood our value, we understood their value. And I think we are just beginning the cycle.
So, abhi payments come on time from developers or it's still sketchy? You have to keep chasing them. Paisa do.
They come on time. I must say that, you know, from last couple of years, it's improved a lot. You know, there are rarely very few, you know, where probably like what Mukesh said, that they have put technology in place, processes in place, which is around brokerages. You know, they want to make sure that. See, they also want our attraction, you know, our attention, I would say, you know, to make sure that we are, you know, we are there aligned with them. You know, we keep discussing that, you know, effectively we end up sometimes, if we do very good work, we end up probably making 4.5% on the deals. And we always discuss that we are like partners to them in a way, you know, so we need to behave like one, you know, we need to give that value to them. And I think that's where they have also understood the requirement of the sector. They know that our cash flows are important. If they handle the cash flows well, then only we'll be able to do the good work. And barring few, and we have a very strict process. Any project comes our way, we do our audits. We make sure that we do multiple discussions among us before we start any project. And we have just last year we have dealt with over 140 developers. And there is not even a single developer where our payments are delayed.
Okay. So all developers are paying Homesfy and Ashish?
We have zero bad debt.
Zero bad debt. Okay. In terms, you said the number 4.5% commission. I got that right, no? 4.5%.
Very few.
Yeah, okay. So broadly, what is the brokerage fee that ranges for a broker at a blended level?
Yeah.
You said some of them give you 4.5. Average क्या होता है? What's the model like?
I think see, base brokerage obviously in the markets across is around 2%, 2.25% maybe, yeah, right? It is the base brokerage is also gradually going up, because developers also want to have a high coverage, they want to have a lot of small and mid-sized brokerages to be working with them. So they also work on base brokerages as to attract these agents. I think so. Base brokerage is around this, and if I have to give you a diluted number, it will be around 3.25 to 3.5%. And if you're doing exceptional work, then you can go to range of 4 plus. If you do good work with some of the developers, it's possible. Yes.
Mukesh, what is your mechanism for deciding on which project to take up for marketing? Is there a bucket list? Is it more gut based? Is it more brand based? What is it?
So we have a process in place, Vishal. We look at the product, we look at the location, we look at the pricing. Brand is also definitely matter to us because we are going to sell this to client and client should not face any issue. So there are 3-4 parameters which we follow. We see location, we see product, we also discover the pricing in and out in that area, and then we choose that product and take that product to our client.
Has it ever happened that you have a big developer, a big brand has come to you with an offering and you have said no because you think it will not work?
Quite a time.
Quite a few times?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not that only brand matters.
Yes, absolutely.
Brand is one of
the factors, and at the end of the day, I think we are a very healthy mix of, we belong to consumer and we belong to developer both. That's the business all about, right? So if there is no value for a consumer, then we do almost 25. In few months we have done even 30% of our business from referrals. And the standard number is around 20-25%. So for us, the amount of quality we can give to consumer is very, very important to us, right? In our internal measurements, we are very finicky about any consumer issue coming to us, right? So for that to play out well, we need to be very sure of what we take it to them, what kind of value we give it to them. So, and good thing with well-run brokerages, if I would have to say so, is that we can show them around. We are not committed to one project. We can actually get the profile right for a consumer. We never call our people who agents. We call them advisors. The reason being that we are the one who are supposed to be a shoulder to them, right? If they are doing this, one of the biggest decision of their lives, we need to act as a shoulder. We need to help them take that decision and never push our product. So that's the way we have grown from 0 to 1600 odd crores, and at the same time we take the same information back to the developer and encourage them to have a certain price point which will work well. Also probably give them inputs on certain features which may work well for the certain product, and it's a very healthy win-win for all three of us.
So how long does it typically take from the first time you engage with the developer on taking up the project to closing it?
So yeah, see, I think when discussion starts, like I said, it's one layer after another. We start talking about the product. Like Mukesh said, we visit, we get little sense of the pricing. How is it looking like, and kind of the target audience which developer have in mind. Then we go back to our data, and because we have now huge data to deal with, we have over 20,000, close to 20,000 leads coming in the system. We would be making around, I think, 40,000 calls in a month maybe. So we speak to 40,000 people every month. So we do collect that data, and we try to understand that what is that consumer is talking about, that market, that product, that ticket size, and that's how we sort of. So I think it takes around a couple of weeks for us to conclude that this product or this project should work well for us and our consumers as well.
Okay. And once you do a deal, how long does what's the cycle from you concluding a deal on behalf of a developer and actually getting the fee?
Yeah, so typically it varies from 45 days to 90 days. Best case would be 45 to 60 days, and the average case would be 90 days. So you do a booking. In next 10 days, the first set of payments are done. Then next 30 days you have the registration, 30 days to 45 days registration done, and then in next week we raise our billings, and typically from there Some developers are like, they give us the checks next day. Some of them have a process, so they take around 4 to 6 weeks.
Neha, you handle human resources. I think the industry that you are in, I don't think there's too much. I think it's probably the most niche field in real estate that you handle. How different is it dealing with an employee who's a broker versus a non-broker? Is the mindset of an employee, is the mindset of a broker very different from any other community?
I think our business, Vishal very rightly said, mindsets, are very different here. Because one, they're dealing with a lot of people. It's a client-oriented and a people-oriented business. Our business is only about people, for the people, by the people, and of the people. So, like you said, and all of us would know that in the earlier times, nobody chose real estate brokerage as a career path. But with awareness, with the kind of culture that is spreading across, I think the mindsets are changing. People want to get into the real estate brokerage. If you go to campuses now, they're absolutely gung-ho about coming to the real estate market as such, and the brokerage particularly. We've been to the IITs, the IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay. We've also been to the IIMs like Ranchi and Trichy, etc. A couple of campuses in Bombay and Pune as well. Now, everybody is looking forward to be one amongst us. We're also taking a lot of, because we say that we are a people-oriented organization, we take a lot of initiative around people. We take a lot of initiative around our hiring, our learning and development, to create a career path from a caller to an agent to an advisor to a manager. There's a career path that we are also giving them, and that's what they look forward to. This was not available earlier, so a lot of initiatives around that, and I think that's making all the difference. Also to tell you, we don't call our agents our people agents or employees. We call them advisors, be it sourcing advisors that we call it caller as such, or an agent that we call an advisor. So we never call them employees and agents, and that's a practice that we've been following.
But does that really impact the way an employee works? I keep seeing designations being the most common trick of companies. पैसा नहीं देंगे पर आपको designation दे देते हैं. एक बैंक ब्रांच में 3 employee है, एक है vice president, 2 vice president, 1 president. So does that really make a difference in the mindset of an employee when you label him differently?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's also the kind of respect that the organization is giving to somebody who's coming on board. We give you the learning and development. We're working on your development. We are working on how you are wanting to move ahead. The personal aspects, ambitions are all taken care of, and how we are aligning those ambitions with the professional aspirations. So the whole alignment sort of thing is like a marriage. You may not be a good match to a lot of people around, but you will be a good match to a lot of people around. So that's how we deal with people. And because it is, and I would also say that because we are dealing with human resources, it is not always very easy. I will not say that it's easy. It is a difficult task, and that is why when we are saying team building, it's done day in and day out. It's a commitment as such for the organization and all of us sitting here. So we just can't say that we are doing something on day 1 and doing the other thing on day 2 and forgetting whatever initiative we had taken on day 1. So it's a commitment, and we keep to do it recurringly. So that's how we.
So the test of team building is attrition, often for most HR heads. How's your attrition level? How is it stacked up?
So we, of course, our numbers stand close to 7 to 8%, and in the last year. And I will also say that the best thing to do to let the others, the new ones and the good ones, to stay is to also let a couple of them go. But there's a conversation that happens. There is, we have to make them understand why. Though yes, we take a lot of initiatives around their learning, we do take a lot of initiatives around their work, but we have to let a few people go, and that's, I think that should be okay for the new ones to come in. Yeah.
Ashish, when she said marriage, you wanted to say something.
No, yeah. So I think just by changing agent into advisor will not, I think we're dealing with a very different generation, and I think that's a big learning for us also here, right? So I think just by calling them advisor doesn't help. You have to follow it up with lot of understanding on the way, right? And at the same time, I think if we try to invest some time in understanding what matters to them, like what she just mentioned about, to even take that argument ahead, some of them, we have to let go. Actually, the point is that, there is a certain profile you need to be a good quality agent. There's a way, you have to be all out here. You have to be, you have to, like, you can't be an introvert if you're a good quality. You have to go out and meet people. You need to have good listening power, because people are taking the biggest decision. You need to really profile them well, right? So nothing bad with anybody out there. The whole point is that there are certain qualities you need as an agent, and we keep looking out for those people. Even if they give us little hope that they have it in them, then we will spend a lot of time on them and train them, invest in them, so that they can. So for us, attrition is a very important measurement, very important measurement. One of the key 4-5 metrics which we track every month, or probably every 15 day, every fortnight. So do it's not that it's a lag factor. हो गया तो react करना है. The last discussions we had about attritions are about होने से पहले भी कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या? So I think that's the combination of what we have done in last probably many quarters and years, that we have come to this point that we have to see to it that we are, just few days back we were talking about how to hire right. Why is that we have to make sure that we make sure that we are able to find those quality agents out there who are looking for us. So I think if the focus is from hiring right to the point that we are able to solve their hurdles on the way, and they see, again, Vishal, it's something very close to us, so I'm taking a little more time here. So we keep telling this to ourselves in these meetings which we do, so-called strategic meetings. So we tell this to each other that अगर हमारे यहाँ पे कोई एक caller P&L head बन गया और बहुत सारे बन गए, then we have done our job. Like a caller is at probably a 20,000 salary and a P&L is at around a 50 lakh salary. So we say if there is someone who can probably go from a caller to a P&L, and we have 6-7 of them out there, we have done our job. And there's no one out there right now, but there are many who are well on way, right?
So you spoke a bit about the mindset of a broker. It's a mindset that most people don't understand. Okay. You said they can't be introverts. They have to be extroverts. I've noticed brokers are probably the most optimistic people on the planet. Ashish, what is the one single biggest criteria, if you were to tell me, what makes a successful real estate broker in India, in Mumbai?
Yeah. So I think वो broker ही क्या जो optimist ना हो, या वो इंसान ही क्या जो optimist ना हो, but वो broker ही क्या, for us, that's very important. Whether it is our internal agents or even the magnets who, are our platform where we aggregate brokers. It's very important that they have to be optimist, because it's a hard sell. And like I said, it's very important that you get the customer right. So you need to have patience, and these are very important virtues in life, right? You need to have patience, you need to have a listening power, So I think that in mind, I believe that, if you are good in your subject, see, you can't be a 50% quality broker. You have to be 100% quality broker, which means you need to be good in your subject. You need to know, see, if consumer has come to you, he wants to save time, he wants to save effort. So which means, you are sort of one person this consumer can completely rely on in terms of the flow of information, right? First things first, data points. उस market में क्या चल रहा है, उस building में क्या चल रहा है, उस particular typology में क्या चल रहा है, everything should be with you. So that's the key factor. I think you cannot become a successful broker unless you have a great access to the information and data, I would say. And I think our our journey ahead on product side will also be lot around data. That's what we want to do. And the second thing is that, like I said, if you have a good data, if you have a good information, then you have to have, you need a patience. You can't rush things. This is not, you're not, again, the statements which I use every day in this organization is, we are not selling credit cards. We are selling homes. It's like, I use this statement for many years now. It's like buying an aircraft for anyone. So we can't just try to sell it as if we are selling, or we are advising on a credit card. So our trainings and development initiatives are now so aggressively around giving them knowledge, giving them information. And the statement again which we all keep using among us is that for us a happy customer is a function of a happy agent, and happy agent is a function of a quality agent, someone who's empowered. If there's an empowered agent, then they will be able to transact more, and which means they have a happy customers out there.
So you're a crossover between the Analog Guardians and the single shop. What is this crossover?
So see, at the end of the day, as a brokerage, we have built this business on productivity. We have built this business on agent quality. I'm being repetitive here. So, we get this opportunity that, we can show many apartments to the consumer. Our agent can probably act as a partner in this search. So this gives us a huge landscape, in terms of, amplifying our services, add value-add services. So, if we want to value-add service, like we have just recently gone to home loan as a business, right? So, it's a value-add to what we can give to our consumer, and there are so many other areas which we can get into. I think, so all these initiatives are going to be tech-led, right? And at the end of the day, we believe that if we are able to continuously create a high-quality margin business, for us that means that, we have been, because our journey is not like a typical VC-funded organization. We have built with our own profits, as they say, right? So it's a very frugal approach. It's a very, I would say, cost-effective approach. And whatever is the situation, that's been part of our DNA. And we want to continue that DNA. That has worked for us. So I think that's the difference between a large institutional brokerages and us. That, for us, if a certain ROI doesn't come, we are not into that business.
Okay. So just to take the point to the conclusion, what does Homesfy have that, say, Analog or Guardians does not have? What is your competitive advantage?
I think the whole point around the fact that we can spread across, we are not committed to few projects. We can just expand to every pin code of cities we are present, gives us this huge advantage against some of the larger brokerages. And at the same time, I believe that we are right now committed to primary business. I think going ahead with our spread and with Magnet gaining more and more strength, we can get into secondary business, and I think these things will naturally come to us. And I think we have this advantage that we can progress faster. And I think after we take the next journey, I keep telling this reminding to myself and the team as well, that the moment we are able to raise money successfully, it will be a day zero for us. We just have an advantage, but it's a day zero. Now to build a great franchise in this such a huge opportunity is going to be a tall task. But I think we have an advantage to create a first, or one of the first few, consumer broking brands out there. One example which I always use for myself and again for the team is that, when people order pizza, they can think of Pizza Hut, Pizza Express, Domino's. But when they look for property, can they think of any name? No. We have the advantage, or we have the opportunity, not the advantage. Can we become one of those first 4-5? When you think of a property and you want to reach out to a certain advisor, you should think of us as a consumer brand.
So basically, if I can summarize, Analog, Guardians, Anadu, they have the mandate model to a large extent. You don't have that barrier that you have to sell only a particular project. You have a wide bouquet of projects. Do you have a structure wherein you can ally with these players for particular projects? So if they are looking at 100 projects, all these spread out, you become in a way one of the channel partners for them. Does that model
Absolutely.
work?
Yeah. We're working very closely with almost every one of them, and huge respect for they have done unthinkable. Credit goes to Anurag, Anush Puri sir. The way they have executed in such a less time, and I think now even Guardian, Zanadu, they have been. They have faced some of the most difficult times in the sector, and really and we are well aligned with them. I think probably if I have to give you a ballpark number, probably 30-35-40% business in our portfolio comes from most of these mandate players only, and we have very strong relationship with almost every one of them.
So basically they aren't competitors as much as they are collaborators.
Yes, I would say so, yes.
Okay. Mukesh, almost 90% of the business comes from two markets, Mumbai metropolitan region and Bangalore. Mumbai metropolitan region includes Mumbai, Thane, Panvel, so on and so forth. Within these markets, is there a distinction between how each of these market operates in terms of the consumer and developer, or broadly it's pretty much the same?
Broadly, it is pretty much the same only. You need to choose right product and market it, and talk to your client, get them through the entire sales journey. Sometimes consumer behavior change. Bombay people take call faster. Bangalore people think a lot, then they take calls. Otherwise, mota moti sara same hi hai.
So Mumbai customer, the sales cycle with a Mumbai customer is a lot lower than Bangalore?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you, Ashish, view a Bangalore developer versus a Mumbai developer? Conventionally, the axis is the worst of all time is Noida. Okay. Okay. The Bangalore comes at the top. I'm going down from here, but Bangalore is at the top, Noida is the bottom, Mumbai somewhere in between. What has been your experience with developers, not the consumer, developers there?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I must also say that this also just to add to what Mukesh is saying before I get to this question also, that that also reflects on the cancellations as well. So, if the so we have very low cancellations in Bangalore as compared to Bombay, because wherever people take too much of time, then they also sort of stick to their behavior changes differently in a different. I would say not even city, Vishal. Every 10 miles consumer change. A Thane consumer behaves very differently from Mulund consumer, or a Mulund consumer will behave very differently from Powai consumer. So I think we have to adopt to it. We are agnostic. So that's beauty of this business. We can adopt to any of the consumers. Now let's go to developers, right? So yeah, absolutely. See, now it's become very competitive for them as well, right? We've been told that there's not enough land parcels out there, quality land parcels. So they're competing like anything. So they have to offer a certain level of service and or value to every stakeholder, and we are also one of the stakeholders. So I think now we see pretty much similar processes across all the good quality developers, especially the top 20-30 developers are following good process around us. They have a very well laid process. I think players like Lodha, Godrej, they were the companies who took this sort of they were the torch bearers, I would say, when it all started, when the structure bit all started. But I think now pretty much everybody is same. Definitely, the brand recall for Bangalore developers is very high. I think sometimes some of the projects people line up to buy because of the fact that the consumer have a very great recall in terms of the product quality, in terms of the timely delivery and stuff like that, which is probably not across in cities like Mumbai. Barring few developers, I think still the legacy brands, I would say, barring them, I think the customer belonging is still not that great in Mumbai and Pune as compared to Bangalore. If you may, North is a very, very different market where I would say no comments.
Okay. So since he said no comment, I'll come to you on that. So Noida is a complex market. Lot of big players there. A terrible legacy of stall projects, scandals. What do you think it takes for a broker to operate in these sort of markets? Now, Noida is the most famous, infamous developer, but there are other cities that have some records. They're smaller markets, so people ignore them. What do you think it takes for a broker to succeed in such markets?
So if you offer a branded product to in the we have a very small setup in Noida, and I have seen if you offer a quality and branded product to the client, they are happy to take it. Like Godrej comes in and sells in a 1 day, 2 day. You know, I have not seen that kind of madness or rush in most of the project in Bombay. Some of the projects happen. They have launched one plotting project and they have sold in 3 hours. So if there is a quality supply, there is a client for it. So that market is also has a lot of potential. If these are and there is an increase in that kind of launches also. A lot of good players are moving. I've heard L&T is moving to Noida. I've heard Lodha is trying to go to that location. Godrej has already taken a lot of portfolio. So if you stick to these players, then you have enough and good business out there in that market also.
But I think other developers who are realizing this, they're also now catching up. Early days maybe without probably getting, because we don't deal too much with them. But for us the entry into the market is through developers also. If tomorrow let's say Lodha or anybody else enters into Hyderabad, Chennai, it's very obvious for us to get into that market, because we have a certain relationship going with them, which has also happened in the past, for us as we expanded. So obviously the more these developers enter into Noida market or any other such market, we will also probably increase our capacity and resources in that market. But at the same time, some of these developers are now realizing it, and they are also now catching up. So we've been hearing a lot of good things about players like M3M, stuff like that. Now they are sort of, we always talk about the fact that the one portfolio which is missing from our space is DLF. It's another quality developer, but we are not able to do much because we are not very aggressive in that market still. At this point of time, as I see my last so many years in this domain, it's so well poised. It's such a win-win for a developer, consumer, and even the advisors like us, like that. So it's good pricing, good supply, and also I think the great cycle ahead.
So Ashish, one of the buzzwords in the stock markets is that two things are happening. One is consolidation. One is developers from one geography expanding into newer geographies. Prestige coming from Bangalore to Mumbai, Lodha going from here to Bangalore. Most people have some skepticism that it can be cracked. As someone who looks at these markets from a bird's eye view, can it be done?
I think it can be done, and it's not going to be easy for sure. But at the same time, I think it's becoming level playing field as we are moving towards consolidation, as we are moving towards sector getting more and more structured. So you have a clean balance sheet, then you have everything going for you, and you have a good brand. You have a good control on your product. It's not that you do something good in Bangalore and you do something bad in Bombay. It will not work. You will have to live up to the promise and the expectation. But at the same time, I think once you get into a new market, your first few projects have to be bang on, which means that you need to really get the dynamics of demand supply of that particular market, of that particular product, so to speak. At this point of time, Vishal, most of the ready to move apartments have been taken, right? There's hardly any ready to move inventory left, and rather developers are going back to drawing board and now sort of thinking of not selling everything at one go. And we are back in those times, and so that they can charge premium towards closer to possession. All this is happening at this point of time. So I think if a developer getting into a new city comes out with a good product, when I say good product, you're giving that value out there, and you have a good brand backing you, you will definitely get good response. We have seen that happening in Pune with Lodha, the Kharadi launch, which sort of sold out in matter of hours. Similarly, Prestige had seen good success in Mulund. So I think we are seeing Godrej doing well in some of the difficult markets.
That's on the broad industry front. Let's come to Homesfy, its IPO pursuit. You're opening soon. Why does a retail real estate brokerage need money to raise capital like yours?
Awesome. So I think it's been one of the very exciting journey for us. Like we said, with that no apartment in 6 months, to just about probably 4-5 lakh brokerage earned in the first year to over 2,000 odd apartments last year, and we did top line of close to 30 odd crores. So I think we have seen cycle in a way. We've learned this business hard way. I have to stick my neck out and say that we know this business now some bit. So I think as the economy, as the market is going to go to the next level, we all know that this is going to be one of the sunrise sectors, and I think we have a great we are at a very, very good point to make most of this learning, this hard work which has been put by the team out there. I have to say that in between that this organization is all about the people, who have been part of this journey. There are so many of them who came as, callers, as Neha told, and today are leading team of 50, 60 people, and so many of them. And I think this company is about them. The future of this company is around them. And I think that gives us this strength that we can take up the next level because of the quality team out there and the opportunity out there. Top 8-10 cities, right? We are just in 4 of them. So for us to take those 8-10 cities, take this model, which has worked well for us in top 2 cities in this country, we need to take it to other cities. And going ahead, we want to also expand to NRI locations. We are very, very optimistic about magnet model. So we want to continue investing in that model. We see that some of the markets we are already present, we can do much more. Our average ticket size has been around just about 90 lakhs last year. And I think there's a potential to take it to probably 1.4, 1.5 if we get into high ticket size, luxury. So there is an organic investment also within the system which is already there. We need to just empower it. And at the same time, we have to get into new geographies and new product lines. And going ahead, if things go our way, we would like to add some more value-added services to the sector as well.
So what are the geographies you're looking to add? You said 4 here, there now. 4 more are going to be added. Which 4? So obviously Hyderabad has done pretty well last few years, and surprisingly is one of the best market after Mumbai. We have to go there. Chennai, Ahmedabad, even in North we have to open more offices. We are also eyeing. I have to say that we are also eyeing tier 2 opportunity. It's one of the upcoming opportunity in the ecosystem. So I think all this put together, like I said, top 7-8 cities we have to be there. Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Gurgaon. These are the cities we have to be present. And I think we are very close to setting up our Dubai operations as well. So that will be sort of where the light enters for our international operations. If we do well in that market, we would like to use that experience in other NRI locations, overseas locations as well. So I think, these are the expansion plans. The one name you have repeatedly mentioned in this conversation is Magnet. I wanted to come to that part of the last. Magnet is a tech tool for Homesfy. I'll come to you, Sandeep, on this. Most people who are tech driven, they say real estate has no proptech. Okay. We often label listing websites as proptech. Okay. In your view, what is proptech for Homesfy?
So, not to take away from them, they are listings, they are classified listings, magic bricks and all, but they are actually also attempting some things I know internally that probably we can call tech. But proptech for us actually is how can we handle the customer's journey, right from entering into our let's say operations and helping him or her or the family as such to get an apartment. And there's a lot of touch points that we have. And basically, how well does the agent or the advisor speak with the person? What information does he have, or profiling does, and how can we with the tech tool helping with the profiling of the customer, right? With the data of the projects, right? The projects, the locality, all that should be present on the dashboard. When somebody is conversing with a client, that all information has to be in front of the advisor, and that to me is something which would enable the advisors to help them do their job better, right? So that's something which I would say in our parlance we call right now we are a sales driven organization, and we talk so much internally that we have to be a tech led company, right? And being tech led means how do we increase the productivity of our advisors, from here to here, and that means helping them with tech tools, giving them the proper information of projects, of the profile of the customer, and how can they actually help them solve the problems that the customer is needed to do.
Sandeep, within this fear that we are talking about, what is the gap that Magnet looks to address that's not there in the market?
Right. So, see, there are a lot of small and medium-sized brokers in the market who are actually trying to help help the customers buy property. What they lack is information again on projects, on how do they actually manage their process. Right now, like Ashish said in the start of the thing, that a lot of them are still on Excel sheets that we wear. Right? They don't have a platform. You know, we call our platform that we give them a sales enablement platform where their team can actually come up and do their transactions. Right, that's something which we are building, like a SaaS platform for them. Right now, it's under progress, but for them, how can we enable them to choose the right projects and also aid their team in doing the transaction, so that they also have checkpoints on how the team is performing, and we give them those tools and dashboards to actually.
So, Kshitij, firstly, what is Magnet?
Magnet is a tech-based co-broking transaction platform wherein we provide the support enablers to any real estate enthusiast. It is not limited only to the brokers, but to all the real estate enthusiasts to conclude more transactions this broking. We ease their journey of concluding a transaction on this broking network, on this broking platform.
Is it an inflection product that can disrupt the game, or is it something which has incremental benefit for a company, for the broker market?
Yes, so Vishal, I'm pretty sure the Magnet would be a disruption in the industry, disruption in the market, because it is the India's first co-broking transaction platform. Herein we are not only focused on getting the leads or the prospects from the brokers, but we are more focused on the transaction part, and that is the biggest challenge also we are facing, the change in the traditional mindset of a broker, wherein brokers are inclined towards working in their own mindset. They don't want to come out of that comfort zone. Like the problem we used to face, must have experienced in the 90s, जब PSU एम्प्लॉयज़ का कंप्यूटराइजेशन के लिए बोला गया था, उनको क्या था चैलेंज कि नहीं यार कंप्यूटराइजेशन हमने नहीं जाना है, सब काम तो हम करते थे कंफर्ट से, कंप्यूटराइजेशन पे क्यों जाएं? दैट इज़ अ चैलेंज which Magnet is right now facing from the broker fraternity. But at the very same time, we have very classic examples, whereas the real estate enthusiasts who are not from a real estate background, but they are doing pretty well, and they have done pretty well much with the Magnet platform. Like I have one classic example wherein there's one pathologist who is working with a leading hospital in Mumbai. He, out of his just sheer interest in the real estate broking, he joins the Magnet platform. He started sharing the leads, and now he is working as a full-time broker with me. And what he is doing? He is doing his job, the routine 9 to 5 job in his office. Whatever tenants he gets, whatever leads he generates, he shares on the platform, and then my team works on it, and we generate a revenue out of it. And second example, there is one lady there was a classic example of COVID, who faces a layoff from the insurance industry during the COVID times. She came across our platform. Out of just sheer enthusiasm, I want to just try something new. Let me try the real estate, because since I have heard about real estate broking, people mint money in this. Let me also try it out. So now she has set up his own office with a team of 2, and she is working full-time into real estate broking. So this is what my Magnet platform is. It provides the support enablers to any real estate enthusiast to conclude more transactions. At the very same time, trust and transparency. These are the two very steer elements in the real estate broking, and this is what we offer in the this Magnet platform. If I could show you my app, you can say that it's a 100% transparent app. Right from the moment where a broker adds a lead into the system, and to the point transaction is concluded. It is so much transparent that even a broker can hear the conversation what my agent is having with the client. Just a click of a button, he can hear the recording of that conversation. And it do not end here. The major pain point for a broker in the broking industry is the clean and the timely payments. Here on this platform, he can even track his transaction journey. Once the booking is transacted, it's concluded, what is the payment journey? How much payment the client has made? Has the invoice been raised? At what value the amount has been raised? Has the brokerage been released? When it is going to be released? That is entirely visible on this platform.
So Kshitij, so basically hesitant brokers who didn't want to get on this app format, you have managed to bypass them or include them to some extent, but real estate enthusiasts have come on the platform. Is my summary right?
No, it is like this app is being hesitated by the brokers to come and join, but it's been very well accepted by a common man to come and operate on this platform.
Okay.
One more point I would like to add here is we also provide digital service to the brokers, wherein they don't have the knowledge to actually do digital campaigns, right? And we have a good set of team members who can do digital campaigns. And one of the premise that we have is how can we increase our agent productivity across, right? Not just sales but also digital. So we have created an algorithm which basically we do one single campaign and we distribute leads across multiple brokers, right? And that is one such tool which has enabled us to be more productive overall, right? And to come to your earlier question, like what is tech or what is prop tech to me in this, right? So having such tools and such smart things which we can provide to our community at large and also internal team, which enables them to do their job, in a much more efficient way, is what prop tech to me is.
Neha, he mentioned about people who work in hospitals also becoming entrepreneurs through this platform. Is there a way you handle these sort of quasi-employees versus the agents who are on your platform as well as the routine employees? Is there a different model?
No, so Vishal, I would like to tell you that as an organization, we see the potential in everybody who is wanting to come in and join the organization and be a part of the family. Now, this could be for Homesfy, the team members who are coming in and joining us, or the magnet partners who are wanting to come and join us. We see the potential in everybody and enable them with initiatives like the learning platform, Magnet Shala and Homesfy Shala that we have. The Homesfy Shala for the internal agents and Magnet Shala for the magnets that we have.
What's the difference between both of them?
So that's Homesfy Shala is for the internal team members and Magnet Shala is for the magnets, the external magnets that we have. So we provide them trainings and learning, learning opportunities, not just in HR, in behavioral pieces, but also in the technical domain. And we help them to win. We are only enabling them, all of them, to win. That's what the difference is. Yes.
Ashish, Magnet is the tech tool. I gather 80% of your business still comes from your in-house sales machinery. 20% are these external magnet entrepreneurs or like the doctor, the hospital staff that he mentioned about. How do we see this journey going forward? Do you think it will remain 80-20 or this will evolve?
No, I think it looks like that magnet is going to be a huge chunk of what we do in future, and it's just the beginning for us. We are able to sort of have we have been able to cover just one part of it, that we can get them on board. There is an interest in the sector, and we, like Kshitij said, we are it's a co-broking activity which is happening successfully. But I think it's just the starting point. There is so much value in this domain. I principally, without any doubt, come with this concept that there are quality brokers out there. This whole thing around brokers that, I know we all have dealt with brokers. If I would have dealt with 5 brokers in my life so far, in my rental or whatever transactions, probably just 1 or 2 of them would have not met the expectation or would have been like what we call typical brokers. But 3 of them, my transaction was not possible without them, the kind of value they added. So I think there is a huge opportunity out there, and it's not just about adding that tool, it's about what more we can do with them. So I think Magnet is not just about one application, it is going to be the whole ecosystem to make sure that we get these agents from one level to another. We sort of become, so for that reason, we don't plan to, franchise them. We want to probably end up becoming one of the, which is a very difficult decision we have taken. We want to make sure that we sort of back them up, and if they have this, thing going for them, that they want to take up the next level, we want to be just one enabler out there and have a win-win situation. Like I said, nothing works without win-win.
So these part-time entrepreneurs, I presume they are not RERA registered. So they are operating in what framework in the entire transaction?
So you see, most of them are right now, the ones who are not RERA registered are just are referrals for us. They just add up certain. So you have a friend, and that friend wants to look for apartment, and you have to just sort of inform us, and we take it up. So it's pure referral for the ones who are non-RERA. and the ones who are RERA, they also probably sometimes play active role with us, and we pay them higher payouts if they play a role in the transactions, but they have to be RERA registered.
For the conventional broker who wants to get on the platform, he spoke about the resistance to brokers getting on a tech platform. Is there a difference monetarily for a broker to be part of this Homesfy magnet journey, or will he make more money with you or lesser money with you?
I think more than often he will make more money with us. Definitely the worst case will be making the same money, and including that he gets so much support. There's a technology, there's a training, there's digital services, and there is even sometimes site support. All that is part of the bouquet while you make the same brokerage. But at the same time, when we do most of the heavy lift work, and they are passing on leads to us, or they are also passing on visits to us, and stuff like that, then they end up doing higher numbers, which enables them to do higher brokerage, which they could have not done if they would have done it themselves. At the same time, there are some projects and some developers where we are doing good business, and we get added incentives, which also enables higher payouts for some of these agents who work with us in Magnet. Yeah.
Okay. My last couple of questions on this. Your listing, you mentioned 30 crore revenues, 3 crore odd profit. What is it that drives you as a promoter to do a listing? Was there no other alternative to raising capital as a majority shareholder in this company?
It's interesting. So I think, like I said, we are a small company. We have a long way to go, and that excites us. But we always believed that we want to become institution. I know it's easier said than done, but this always plays in our mind that in terms of our practices, our processes, our compliances, we should always aim to be transparent. And I always understood as part of the financial services in my early part of my career that once you try to get listed or you get listed, you become more and more transparent and you become institution in a way. You fast forward that journey. So I think that sort of we took that call collectively that should we fast forward that journey and take it on, and the investors backed us. We got good quality investors who wanted us to take up this plunge, and for us, I always say that to every stakeholder out there that can we become Infosys of this business, which is we end up setting benchmark in terms of how a good well-run brokerage should operate in this sector. We know it's early days, we know we have a long way to go, there will be mistakes and challenges on the way, but we definitely want to achieve that. And I think getting listed makes us more and more focused and more compliant towards becoming Infosys of this business.
Okay, that's a tall benchmark you have set for yourself. The last question, you said you don't want to have you want to create an institution. You also said it's easier said than done. So one of the things I noticed in your DRHP was your own salary structure. It's varied from sub 20 lakhs in 2020, in 21 you went below 8 lakhs, and now 40 odd lakhs in 22. Firstly, is that the only source of income you have from this company? Is that the only amount, or there is something else outside of this?
No, yeah. So obviously now it's the only source of the income I have, and I'm completely committed to this as my.
So in 2021, Ashish made only 8 lakh rupees from Homesfy.
Yeah. So I can say that the reason we were dealing with COVID at that time, and I think the most important thing which happened at that point of time was that it was a very collective decision by everyone. So when I tell this to most of the people, they don't believe in it. That when it was a peak of COVID, I remember this one call when we all came together. We set of some 40-50 odd people who could come to that call at that point of time, and we were not able to make a decision that what salary cuts we should take, how should we decide our next few weeks, because it seems that there was no light at the end of the tunnel, and all of us put together in that call could take that decision in like matter of probably 30 minutes that these are the cuts we will take, this is what we will do, if we do this much, it was not me. I think probably barring just 10-15 minutes of that call, first 10-15 minutes, everybody else pitch in, and so my taking a salary cut in that year was part of that journey. It was linked with a formula which was linked with everybody else, and I think the beautiful thing which happened for us was that after that call, there was no major salary cuts required. I think just about in a couple of months we were able to, what we decided we could do better than that, and I think in matter of 6-7 months we were back to our normal numbers. Yeah.
Okay. And my last question to you and Mukesh, at this point of time, you said COVID provided you a rebound opportunity. Where are we in this cycle? Is the market hot? Is the market lukewarm? Is the market weak? First Mukesh, then I'll come to Ashish.
So we see a lot of potential, Vishalji, for the market. There's a lot of demand. New demand has also been generated. People are buying more often, and I'll say the real estate अब ऐसे रास्ते पे है जहाँ से बहुत अच्छा कर सकता है, और रैली यहाँ से मिड टू लॉन्ग टर्म दिखती है स्पेस में. आप अगर कुछ न्यूज़ को रेफ़र करें तो अभी तक की सबसे बड़ी लैंड डील्स इंडिया में रिपोर्ट हुई हैं जो बिल्डर्स ने एक्वायर किए हैं. यू सी बैंक्स ऑल्सो बिकमिंग वेरी वेरी सॉफ्टर, एंड जो भी एसेट इस समय रुके हुए हैं उसको रीडेवलपमेंट करके काफ़ी तेज़ी से काम किया जा रहा है. अक्रॉस बॉम्बे रीडेवलपमेंट की जो अपॉर्चुनिटी इस समय क्रिएट हुई है, और इन अदर सिटीज़ ऑल्सो दैट विल कम. So I see there is a good opportunity for real estate, and it has just started and it will last for mid to long term.
Ashish, he is a salesperson, head of sales. So like you said, he has to be optimistic.
Yes.
Do you agree with it fully, partially, not at all?
See, I think these are, I would say that the kind of euphoria we have seen last year, maybe it will be difficult to get that euphoria back. We were operating from a low base and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too technical here, but obviously, it was a dead or probably semi-dead market, unconscious market coming alive suddenly, and when you come alive, then you dance, right? So it was dancing crazily. But now I think we will have to, it's not going to be easy ride for sure. Not every project is flying, but at the same time, like I said, on risk of being repetitive, if you know your product, if you come out with good pricing, if in that market supply is not there and you are the one who is supplying, obviously you will do well.
So what percentage of projects are flying currently? You said not all projects are flying. What percentage are flying?
I think it is around 60-70 odd % which are doing well. They are able to meet, if they have publicly told that this is the number they want to do at the launch, they are able to do that kind of a launch. I would say around 60-70 odd %. But I clearly see that structurally, allow me to say that, in terms of the way economy is behaving, the way job market is behaving, the way the middle class of this country is behaving, I'm not going to go too deep into data points, but the gap of housing, the basic quality housing is huge, and the urbanization at play, builders becoming conscious about what they have to give, what they have to deliver, the trust deficit which was there is reducing. So all that is a very healthy mix, a very good cocktail of the sector, and we have seen that sectors, the rally or the cycles have lasted for good 8-10 years. So maybe it's not going to last so long, but it's going to be a good run, and I believe that we are not in middle but at an early stage of this cycle. But at the same time, as the base grows, it's going to be very, very challenging, because dynamics is going to change very fast.
On that optimistic note, and in Mukesh's word, euphoric note probably, we'll end up this chat. Thank you guys for this conversation. A good extreme picture of the entire market. So thank you Ashish, thank you Mukesh, Neha, Sandeep and Kshitij.